o'clock, and we will call our meeting to order at this time. Mr. Willisham, will you do our invocation, please?
That's great. Father, again, we thank you for the opportunity of being here this evening and to honor these students who have worked very hard. And out of this room, there are different people with different thoughts, with different persuasions, but that does not mean that we cannot come together and work together for the best interest of Walker County Schools. And Father, that's what we ask this evening. We ask for wisdom, and we ask for strength to follow your precepts as we do what is best for Walker County Schools. Bless the events of this evening. Bless everyone that's here. And Father, we'll give you the praise for all you do. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And Mr. Richardson, will you lead us in our pledges?
Absolutely. Please stand. Pledge to the American flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Georgia flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Georgia flag and to the principles for which it stands, wisdom, justice, moderation, and courage. Thank you.
At this time, we do need to approve the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor? And special recognitions, Mr. Raines?
Yes, ma'am. So we have a group here tonight from Lafayette Middle School. So I asked Mr. Crowley if he'll come on up, and I know Miss Madison is here, and she's going to probably do most of the talking, I would assume. But she does such a great job with our students in FFA, and I try to make sure folks understand that doing this at the middle school level creates more opportunities for our kids when they get to the high school level, and they're already plugged in and connected, and you can see they look great with their uniforms on, and I just love it when they're here, and they've done some amazing things. So I know you guys are going to talk about that, so I wanted you guys to know it always takes that teacher who's going to step up and do that additional work to make sure this happens, and I want Miss Madison to know how much we appreciate her and all the folks that help her in that as well. So, Mr. Crowley, thank you all for being here.
Well, I think Mr. Raines stole a lot of the words I just
Sorry.
said. That's okay. That's a good thing. So I'm not going to look at my notes because I think he stole exactly what I was going to say. Ms. Madison does an awesome and wonderful job for our school, and I'm so blessed that she is on our staff, and I'm so gracious that you guys are in our school, and I think you guys do a great job in representing us. And Ms. Madison, I know I've got prepared what to say, but I want you to say the awesome things that you are doing because it's great for what our school is about. And if you don't mind sharing what our school is representing and stuff, I want everybody to hear the awesome things that are about. It's great. I'm excited to share.
Today we have our president, Riker Hardwick, here. We have our treasurer, Lexi Huskins. We have our reporter, Delaney Thurman. We have our sentinel, Brendan Madison. We have our chaplain, Malachi Bell. And we have our historian, Sophia Wolves, and our parliamentarian, Lillian Thacker, here to represent our FFA chapter. So this year we were lucky enough to be awarded the National Chapter Award Gold Level. And we are so excited because we get to go to Indianapolis, Indiana, to the National FFA Convention to accept this award. And this convention is over 80,000 FFA members from all over, every single state in the United States attends this convention in Indianapolis. And we are so excited to be able to go this year and represent Walker County. So to be eligible to receive this award, it is a combination of all the activities we did throughout the year, community service and FFA activities, involvement, and everything all added up together. And only the top chapters in Georgia get to receive this award for Georgia, and then each state has a few recipients as well. So we will be headed on Wednesday, October the 29th, to the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis. And so
So just give you guys a heads up. So I actually went north over the break for this a little bit. I've got family that live in Ohio, just close to Indianapolis. And so I was sharing some of this results with some of my family members and also just random people just to talk to, just because I think this is an awesome thing that they've accomplished. And people knew from up there. It was a little town called Circleville, Ohio. It's 30 minutes south of Columbus, about 2 hours from Indianapolis. And they knew all about it. They know about the conference, all that kind of stuff. And I said, Lafayette, Georgia, that's where my school is and this kind of stuff. And they knew all about it, and they were all excited about it for you guys. So, like I said, I was bragging in Ohio over the week. So, but you guys have accomplished that. Ms. Madison, you have accomplished that. So I think it's amazing, and I'm so excited to brag on you guys anytime I can. So,
Is the entire team going to Indianapolis?
We have 5 students off of our officer team that are attending.
Okay, good. And you'll be there the 29th through that
The 31st.
31st. Okay. So will you trick or treat there, or
We're going to try to have them home in time for trick or
Okay.
treat.
Awesome. Well, congratulations and good luck as you go up there and accept this award. And we definitely appreciate all that you guys are doing. And can't wait to see you finish up middle school and then go on to high school and continue what you're doing now. That's amazing. So thank you, Mr. President. So I'll stay up there and we'll get a picture.
Okay. You all here. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get one more. 1, 2, 3. And stay where you're at in case. Oh, you got it behind me. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Hey guys, congratulations.
And I'll make sure you guys know, just in case, because it is a school night, this is the end of our recognition. So if they can hang around, or obviously they're heading out the door, so feel free to travel along with you. But thank y'all for being here tonight. We appreciate you guys coming.
Next on our agenda, we have the superintendent's report.
So really, just a couple of things probably that we talked about at the planning session, which seems like a long time ago since we had fall break in the middle, but I'll just bring back up to your attention. And then I'm also going to be doing the facilities update for Mr. Deputy. He's not going to be able to be with us tonight, so I'll kind of fill in some of the gaps there as well. We discussed at the planning session the potential of a policy revision, actually to policy DJE. It would affect the what of the R word, I can't think of it right now, the exhibit, not, is it the exhibit? Regulation, sorry, what? Exhibit doesn't start with an R, that would have been my clue. To move it from the current $25,000 threshold up to a potential of $75,000. And we had a little bit of discussion prior to just talking through that. I'll give you an example. We had an estimate to do some work on the front of Rossville Elementary School. That estimate came back at $52,000. Okay, so with current thresholds, what we'll have to do, we have to put that on 28 days to advertise that. We have to open those bids if we've got a price, but we'd have to open bids on it. You have to involve the architect and engineer, so there's an additional cost to that. It sits 28 days, and by the time you get to the actual project, it's probably going to be somewhere around December the 1st before we can start. That would be weather permitting. Whereas if the threshold was a little higher, we would still go through all of that process. The only thing that would be left out would be the 28 days sitting on as an advertisement. And you can see $52,000 10 years ago might have been under that threshold. But costs are up so much now that it's just not. So it takes more time. So it was just for the board to consider that. So we can continue that discussion. We did talk with the attorneys. We feel like that is something that's a substantial change, and it would need to sit for 30 days. So on the Rossville example, it doesn't really help us because we just got the price quote. We'd still have to wait 30 days, but we're fine with that. So that was the one that I wanted to get some additional feedback on. The other one that I'd asked about was the Bluebird purchase of the 15 buses. Those are still sitting there waiting on us, but we have to make a decision because he's ready to sell those to someone else. And so we had made the recommendation that we could use our reserve fund balance to purchase those buses. So that was the other one. Athletic supplements, we went back over that. Didn't get a lot of response. I didn't know if there was any next steps that you wanted us to look at. Those contracts have already gone out. They've already selected whether it's a monthly pay or whether it's a lump sum at the end. This may be something that you just want to wait and consider for next year, and I'm fine with that as well. The AUP that you guys set for 30 days, the changes to the AUP, which included the complaint resolution process, was successfully submitted to the DOE by the 15th. So now it goes to the state board. They'll review all 180 plus of those over the next few months, and then we should know something back. We have a plan to get that information out to our parents. It'll contain a lot of other pieces, but it'll specifically talk about the changes in the AUP. And there's really no big change other than if there's an issue with something, there's a process now that they can follow for a complaint resolution. And so we did get that taken care of. And then the last thing I'll mention before I get to one piece that we didn't do at the planning session, Bootstrap is this week. It's in Athens, so I'll be leaving after Backpack Blessings tomorrow night, traveling to Athens. We're there all day Wednesday, half a day on Thursday, and then I'll be back on Thursday afternoon, evening. Now, my plan is that, I hope nobody, it's being recorded, I shouldn't even say it. My plan is that the softball team from Lafayette High School wins them outright Wednesday. I don't have to worry about it. But if they don't, I can make it back for the Thursday night ball game. I'm hoping I don't have to make it back for Thursday night. The other thing is the volleyball team is playing in Augusta. So I'm mapping out a route from Athens to Augusta to go see them on Wednesday night too. So I'll at least get a chance to be around them, hopefully, as they all continue winning. So very proud of them as they continue to move forward. And so all of that's going on this week. So I just wanted to kind of update you. I'll pause a second. The last thing I wanted to do was give Rachel the opportunity to talk through the finance report since she wasn't here on Tuesday night. And I know there's been a week and a half elapsed, and I asked her if there were questions, she could fill in some of the gaps for you. So DJE-R1, changing that, is there any thought on that at this point to move forward, tabling that for 30 days? Or is that something you want to continue to consider? Again, the example I used was the Rossville Elementary. It's not going to really help us in that case because it's going to be more than 30 days anyway. So we can go ahead and advertise, put it out on the web, go through that process probably before we get the the policy revised if we choose to do that. Or do you want to hold where it is and leave it alone? I'm just going to kind of open it up for you guys to discuss.
I think we were talking before the meeting a little bit. My concern was that it needed approval before it was actually given or awarded. But obviously, we're still going to do that. All we're doing is cutting out some of the bid process so we can actually cut out some architect fees as well, right?
It would definitely help with the architect fees, but it would also just speed the process up. And what we would have to do is come up with a procedure similar to some things that we do where we email the board and let you know who the award is going to, what the cost was, who was the next closest bidder, when they're going to start the work. That way we get some level of approval from you via email unless there's a meeting plan, and then we can do it at the meeting. But you would officially still approve that. So none of that would change. It would really just help on the timing. For instance, on this one, 52 under the 75, we could go ahead and give the contractor, after you signed off on it, the right to go ahead and move forward, and we can get the project started. So the timing really is more than just the approval part, because we're still going to keep all that in place.
Construction project?
We're talking about construction
Because
projects.
there's exceptions in that bid process for construction, if I'm not mistaken. I think that our threshold for that is $100,000.
It is, but it's only in an emergency. That's part of the threshold. You can go up to $100,000 without that level of sitting for 28 days if it's a true emergency. It's one that, and it's great that it's in there, but we don't have a lot of emergencies. Like this isn't necessarily an emergency. It's just something that needs to be done, and the longer we wait, it potentially does become an emergency, but it's really about the time.
And I know my memory kind of slips from time to time, but what I remember is when I was here 20 years ago in that role, it was at $25,000. So you're talking 20 years. To me, inflation cost has gone up at least 3 times. So I have no problem going from 25 to 75.
So what we'll do is we'll get that together, make sure that we get that in front of you so it sits for that required 30 days. And then this project, we'll probably just go ahead and go through the normal protocol with the one we just currently received. And that way we can at least have that one moving forward. Okay. Any thoughts on the purchases of the buses?
I saw some of our buses on the road today. We need some buses.
We're definitely in a place where we could use, and the problem is, problem's not the right word, the bigger opportunity is these are sitting ready to go. If we order buses and we do the spring, we're 3 to 6 months out before we're going to get them. And so that does put us into a little bit of a bind. 15 buses sitting there ready to go. We just have to go with cameras and things like that, but still, that we could put them on the road pretty quickly.
Knowing that it's been a few years since we purchased regular ed buses, I think 15 is a fair number. The only thing that I would like to, I guess, encourage, everybody to look at is there needs to be a plan in place to buy a certain number each year to replace those. That way you're not buying everything in bulk, and then down the road, when they wear out 10, 12 years down the road, you're having to replace.
Sure.
15, 20 buses at a time. So, if we could do, 80 or 10 a year, kind of map that out, look at the year models we've got, and kind of plan, be proactive in our planning.
And typically we do 5 a year out of the East Plus funds. So by the time you get to the end of a 5-year period, you've replaced 25 buses. And so, and that way you're not, to your point, you're not replacing 15 one year when they all get to a certain mileage or whatever. Maintenance becomes an issue. So that's a good recycling plan. So yeah.
And again, knowing we've not purchased them in a couple of years,
Sure.
I'm good with 15 right now.
Okay. Now, and then again, the 15's sitting there. We're not on the hook for 15. We just know they are there and available, and 15 would definitely give us a nice shot in the arm with some of the buses that we have currently running routes. And the other thing, if you remember, we changed the procedure to where any of the buses that are newer would be the ones that take our kids on trips. And that way they would swap out the new with the old on routes around town versus having one of those older buses going, south. So just make sure we do that as well.
I keep looking at Rachel. Rachel, we can afford this, can't we?
Do you want me to go with the financial?
She said yes.
She said,
That's
yeah.
okay.
Fund balance built up when we had all those extra funds. And I don't know if you want me to, did you want me to go through the summary like I usually do at planning, or y'all have the summary, the financial?
I didn't have any questions.
Okay.
So no questions. And our fund balance was pretty high, of course, with the costs going up on health insurance. Right now, we do have that, but I think we do need to proceed with caution. But if we need buses, then it's in fund balance.
I think the only other consideration, in my opinion, is we're about to bond money. Okay, so we're going to have an influx of cash that has to be spent in 3 years, and buses fall into the referendum. And so we can continue that cycle with that money. But that's going to be the spring, then you're going to tack on 3 to 6 months to get them manufactured. It's going to put us all the way into next school year before we get the buses. And so this isn't immediate, but going forward, you wouldn't be taking that money out of fund balance. You would be using your bond money that you qualify for. Typically for us, it's 1 bus, and it's not enough to pay for a bus, but at least it's 1 bus. And then you would be adding that additional 4 for that 5 recycle plan.
These 15 that are there, are those what they call bond buses, or are they built out with the, to close to what our specs have been over the past several years?
They're built out to our specs. We would just need to be adding cameras and radios like we do typically. Yes, sir. No, they're ready to go, just like we would have spec'd them out.
Okay, sir.
So, what would be if we said today or in the morning we want those 15? How long would it take before they were on the road? 30 days?
I would say safely 30 days with where we are right now. And I mean, you may have some of them that hit the road earlier than that, but all of them would be fairly functional and operational within 30 days. Yes, sir.
But typically, when we order a bus, it has taken a year to a year and a half to receive it. So usually they're not sitting on the lot.
No.
Waiting on
You remember the last 4 activity buses, we ordered those in 22. And they're just now going on the road. So, I mean, it took them a while.
I guess my question would be then, is there any way that we could maybe let Bluebird know that, hey, we're planning on
Oh, yeah.
5 a year, so for the next 5 years, we're going to buy 25 buses. Now, obviously, there's not a bulk buy comparatively speaking, 15 versus 5 a year, but what is there a, if we agree to buy 5 a year, does that make it any more cheaper, or and also does it get it to us? I mean, it validates that we can get those 5 every year. Yes.
I think that's really based on the availability of parts and things. I mean, if you go back and you remember, it was computer chips. Couldn't find computer chips, so everything was just, not necessarily for buses, but my point being in the assembly process. And so for them to be able to say to us right now that if you place an order today, it's 3 to 6 months, that's a world apart from where we were 2 years ago. I mean, when they were telling us, I can't guarantee them for a year and a half. There's just nothing you can do. So you purchase, we actually, I say we, I'll include myself in that. We had 2 show up that we forgot about, and we had ordered those in 2021. And they showed up, and we were like, whose buses are these? We looked back, we had ordered those buses. That's how long it took to get those buses. So it's just, for them to say 3 to 6 months right now, we're in a really good spot, plus the fact that that bond money is going to hit about the right time to start doing that additional recycling plan. So I think we're in a good place.
Which I basically have been driving Mr. Raines crazy because
Driving,
the
no pun
state-
intended there. I get it.
Yeah, driving.
From
The
the
state capital outlay funding that we've been waiting on, and we finally received, the state owes us like $5 million, so I've been driving him crazy saying, we can't keep spending SPLOST if we're not gonna get reimbursed for what we've done, And we finally, on October 7th, received 1.7 million of the $5 million that we've been waiting for. Now, I'm not sure how long it's gonna take the state on the rest of it, but that made me feel better. I quit driving crazy, I think.
No, driving me crazy at all. This Twitch has been here for a long time. So I feel very comfortable. I wouldn't come to you and say, we need 15 buses and we have the ability to purchase them now and have them on the road within 30 to 45 days if we didn't truly need them. And you guys are seeing that as well. And so it's not been from a lack of attention to it. It's been a combination of not being able to get them, putting our money into our special needs buses, which we had to do. And then the other thing was the activity buses, trying to get some at the high school so that they have other options instead of just waiting on a route bus. It's been a kind of a perfect storm. This is a nice place for us to see 15 ready to go. We can get them on the road pretty quickly.
Plus, we can get state funding on at least, what is it, about, I know there's at least one that the state owes us on, and then it could be 2 at this point, I don't remember.
Could be, yeah, so we have state funds. Not all the amount, but what they give us in the bond would offset a little bit of the cost. Okay. All right.
Anything else?
Finance, I need anything from her?
Just
from
if you
Rachel?
had questions on, the financial report that was submitted.
Any other questions or comments on facilities or financial? No? We do have 3 action items tonight. The first one, it's recommended that the Walker County Board of Education approve the financial report for the month and fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. Do we have a motion? A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? It is recommended that the Walker County Board of Education approve the financial report for the combined months of July and August 2025. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Any discussion? All those in favor? And then it is recommended that the board review proposed changes. Is that right, Mr. Raines?
To policy JBD? Yes, ma'am.
Just to review the changes?
These, Glenn, help me with JBD. This is from planning session. We talked a little bit about absences.
This is, we were adding the nurse practitioner.
That's correct. Nurse practitioner and physician's assistant. Currently, we only have medical doctors. This will add psychiatrists, nurse practitioners, and physician's assistants to sign off for homebound services. That is the current trend with our doctors accessibility right now. And this is a modernizing of the language, which is definitely necessary.
Okay. So do we want to review the proposed changes or approve them?
At this point, we will review them
Okay.
to sit for 30 days, because this is a substantive change. So we will be considering the board's approval at our next meeting to enact these expanded roles for the identification of homebound services.
Okay, so we really don't need an action at this time, correct? This is not an action item.
It'll sit until the next one.
Okay, so then we will move on to our consent action items. We need a motion to approve the listed consent action items. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second? Any comments, questions, discussion?
We discussed several change orders. They're listed there. I know you guys have looked through them. The rest of them, I think, are pretty standard of what we talked about at planning session.
Okay. Do we need a motion? You want to do that? All right. All those in favor? Next on the agenda is new business. Mr. Middleton, we'll start with you. Do you have anything?
So, went to the Rossville Alumni Association meeting on Saturday, and they're going to donate $6,800 for speakers in the theater. Last year, they donated $6,000 for new microphones. Now this year, they're going to donate $6,800 for new speakers. Is that right, James? And so we are. When I was there, I told them that we were very appreciative of those guys taking care of that. And also, Wednesday, sorry, I was thinking it was Tuesday, but Tuesday, Ridgeland's is having a theatrical performance at 4:30. Thank you. 4:30. So
And then reception is after.
reception
after.
Yeah, reception after. So they're wanting. I think everybody got an email to come to that. So
It's that we RSVP.
yes, RSVP. So I think it's the theater and performing arts is doing well at Ridgeland. We're grateful for the job Nolan Berry's doing. So that's it for me.
Mr. Richardson?
No, ma'am, I have nothing at this time.
Sorry.
No, I do not. Thank you.
Mr. Willerson?
Mike Hardy, one of the drivers in the county, brought to my attention the other day that, of course, obviously we all know it, but their lead driver was really, really bad. He said and I didn't know anything about this, but he said there were two that was approved, but they could not bring them aboard until December, and I could not answer any questions about that because I didn't know, so I told him I'd ask at the session tonight what all was involved with it, so I did not know.
I mean, there's a large process with getting your CDL. There's class time that you have to go through. There's a test you have to pass. Then there's driving that goes along with that without students on board, with a trainer on board, and then with students on board with a trainer on board before you're released onto your own route. I can get all that information from Dina and make sure you're in that loop on that. It's not that we hold them back at all. There is a process of things that state says you have to do, and then we also say what you have to do before we can release you to be driving a bus with the specialist students on board. Yes, sir. There was a little bit of a limitation on the 14+1s. You didn't have to go through some of the same training, and that's why we kind of moved that way, is to eliminate that for some of the folks that, not necessarily the training, but the CDL component of it. So it takes a little bit of time, but I'll get that for you, Dr. Wilson.
And I do not have anything. Do we have public participation tonight?
No one signed up for a public participation through the policy.
Okay. And we do have need for executive session for personnel and
That's all.
personnel. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second. All those in favor? We are adjourned to executive session. Okay, we are back in session. We have a recommendation of personnel for certificated, non-certificated, and other. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? And we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All those in favor? And we are adjourned.